Hey guys, it's Valerie. Today we are going to be doing an ab class using our weights. So go ahead, let's grab those weights and let's go ahead and get started. We're going to stand with our feet hip width distance wide, gentle bend in the knees. We're going to bring those weights together. Now the closer to the chest my weights are, the easier this will be, and the farther away from your chest, the harder it'll be. So I'm going to go about halfway. I'm just going to twist it out. Come to center and twist. Now my hips are staying in line with each other. I'm just moving from my upper body, feeling that twist in the torso, really using that core to get that full reach of me twisting here. Gaze following those weights. Hips staying nice and forward. Nice job. We're here for 3. Keep squeezing that core in nice and tight for 2 and 1. Let's go ahead and drop our weight. We're going to just take one in our hands for now. We're going to reach our arm up and stick our leg out a little farther. We're going to ground down into our right leg. Right hand can stay on the hip. Come light on the left toes. We're going to reach up and then elbow to knee. Lengthen and lift. Nice job really using our core here. Standing ab muscles. We're actually using a lot of our core here to help stabilize our body while we stand. You're getting a little bit more benefit than when you just do abs on the floor. Lift and lower for 3. Last 2 and 1. Let's switch it out. Opposite arm raises up, ground down into that left foot, light on the right toes, lift up and crunch. Lift and squeeze. Nice, really try to get that knee up as high as you can. That's where all that good magic is going to happen. Nice job. Squeeze it in and lift. Down and up for 3. Last 2 and 1. Let's go ahead and grab our weight and come back into our twists. This time we're going to add a little bit more for our arms. So let's take those arms out as wide or as far away from the body as feels comfortable for you. And we're going to twist. So go over and to the opposite side. Nice job. Those feet are hip width distance wide, maybe a little wider. Nice, slow and controlled motions here. You got this. Breathing here for 3. Nice tight core for 2. And 1 more each side. Awesome. Let's go ahead and come back into our crunches. This time I'm going to keep both weights in my hand. Lift and lower. Reach. Nice job. Breathe here. Exhale. Lift that knee up towards the elbow for 3. Last 2 and 1. Let's go ahead, switch it out. Reach that opposite arm up nice and high. Elbow to knee, crunch it in and lower. In and out. You got this. Nice deep breaths. Exhale to crunch. Bring that knee in towards the elbow for 3. Last 2 and 1. Beautiful. Now for this next one, if you really want to push yourself, you can take both weights in one hand. For me, that's a lot with these weights. So I'm going to go ahead and drop one. And we're going to come into what we call in yoga as triangle pose. So my right toes are going to point away from me, and my left toes are going to point perpendicular to that. My front heel is in line with my back arch, and I'm going to push my hips towards the imaginary back of the room, and I'm going to reach that left arm up nice and high. And now what we're going to do here is we're just going to lower down, keeping that upper body nice and straight, and lift back up. Lower down and raise up. Now keep that arm nice and long. Stack that wrist on top of the shoulder. Notice how my arm kind of moves as I move through this. And what we're doing right here is we're targeting that back area of our core, of those obliques, those muffin tops. We're coming for you. Lift and lower. Nice job for 3. Last 2 and 1. Lift up nice and high. Turn toes forward. Feet parallel to each other. Take that right hand behind the head. We're going to drop it down and lift back up. Lower and lift. I'm not rounding. I'm just doing a lateral bend towards the side. Bringing that arm down my leg. Lower and lift. Nice job. We're using our obliques here to help bring our body up nice and upright. And the arm just kind of adds a little bit more to that. Lower and lift for 3. Last 2 and 1. Awesome. Let's go ahead and switch our weight, switch our feet, front heel in line with that back arch. Now I'm pushing my hips to the opposite side of the room. Lift that right arm nice and high and gaze up at that weight if it feels okay. Lower down and lift. I'm just hinging from the hips so that I can target that back area. That's what's helping raise me up here. Nice and strong. Lift and lower. Find those nice deep breaths. Bring it down and up. You got this. That other hand is kind of sliding down that leg for support. Lower and lift. Keeping the shoulder open. I'm not rounding forward for 2 and 1. Awesome. Let's stand with feet parallel. Take your left hand behind your head, and we're coming for those obliques. Lower and lift. Down and up. Feel those obliques as you rise up through center. Crunch it up and down. Lift and lower. You got this. We're not here for much longer. Just 2 and 1. Beautiful. We're going to switch it out. Come back right back into those triangle abs. Reach that left arm left arm up nice and high. We're going to lower it down and lift. But this time, we're going to come all the way down and then halfway up. All the way down, halfway up. Yeah, really feel that in the back of those obliques, lifting and lowering. Beautiful. We're not here for much longer. Just 3. Last 2. And 1. Raise up. Beautiful. Let's come back into those standing obliques. Take your right hand behind the head, lower down and lift. Lower and lift. It's okay for those feet to be nice and wide. Definitely have a little bend in those knees. You don't want to work with straight legs here, cutting off that blood circulation. So nice bend in the knees here. Lower and lift. You got this. Breathing for 3. Last 2 and 1. Come all the way up. Switch it out. Toes out. These toes perpendicular. Reach that right arm nice and high. We're coming all the way down and halfway up. All the way down, halfway lift. You got this. Feel it in the core here. Lift and lower. Shoulders and hips are staying kind of in line with each other. We're just kind of moving my hips backwards. Nice job for 3. Last 2 and 1. Lift up, feet parallel. Let's go right into those obliques. Left hand behind the head. Let's rise up and down. Feel that weight lower down and use that core to lift it back up. Nice job. Find those nice deep breaths. Very important when you're doing ab workouts to use your breath here. It'll help to pull that tummy in nice and tight. You got it. Last 3. Last 2 and 1. Awesome job, guys. Let's come on down to the floor. Grab some water if you need to. And for these next couple of exercises, we're only going to need 1 weight. So just grab 1 weight and make your way onto your back. Hug those knees in towards the chest. Bring that weight in towards the chest. Make yourself a nice little ball. On the exhale, we're going to lengthen the legs, lengthen the arms, reach up, and then pull it all the way back in. Now, if your low back starts to lift off of the mat, you're just going to shoot your legs up a little higher towards the sky. The farther out they go, the harder it'll be. The lower to the floor they are, the harder it'll be. And the more your feet are lifted upright, that'll be easier for your spine. Same thing with the arms. You can always just kind of hang out here. But we want to do a little bit more core than we want to do arms. So let's go ahead, bring it out and together. Nice job. Out and in. For 3. Last 2 and 1. Come out. Come all the way up to a seat. We're going to come into a boat pose. Now, option here to keep your feet down on the ground. Or if you want to challenge yourself, you can lift those feet off of the floor. We're going to go ahead and rotate the body towards the right and then towards the left. Lower and lift. Now, if you really want to challenge yourself, you can bring one leg straight as you'd like. Take whatever level you're here for and breathe into your crunches. Nice job. Twisting it out. Yes, for 3. 1 more each side. After this, you got it. To the right, to the left. Let's come all the way back up through center. Now for this next one, we're gonna take our weights and we're gonna place it in between our ankles. So some of you, that might be a little challenging, and if so, you can do the same exact exercise without the weight. So I'm gonna take my weight and I'm gonna hold it in between my ankles. That's gonna help to ignite that inner thigh, get a little bit deeper into our core here. Pull that low back nice and low to the mat. On the exhale, we're gonna extend the legs and bring them back in. Extend and lower. Now, if that's too much for your low back, you can take your hands underneath your seat, and that'll help to elevate the hips so that low back can't really lift too far. Find those nice deep breaths. Pull in and out. You're doing great. 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Let's pull it all the way back in. Grab for that weight. And this time we're going to take both weights in our hands. For the sake of our shoulders, I'm going to bend my elbows and have my hands pointed towards the sky. And I'm going to let my legs out nice and long. On the exhale, I'm going to bring my left leg up and my right arm up, and then lower, opposite side. Nice job. Lifting and lower. You got this. Option to take your head and shoulders off of the mat as you lift up. That's definitely going to give you a little bit more of that core workout with that weights in the hands here, lifting that upper body off of the mat, adding a little bit of a challenge with the resistance. Nice job. Keep it going. 4, 3, last 2, 1 more each side. Lift it up and down. Nice job. Let's go ahead and lower one of our weights. And we're going to come back into what I call the swan. We're going to bring it together and then open it up nice and wide. Together and apart. That low back stays down on the mat. Crunch everything in. Lower and in. Squeeze the belly in when you draw the knees in, and squeeze the belly as you let the legs out. Keep that core engaged the entire time. Find those nice deep breaths. 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Let's come back up into our boat pose. Take your weight, and maybe if last time you kept your feet on the floor, this time you try to see if you can lift your feet off of the mat. We're going to twist it out. Once again, maybe you do opposite leg, opposite side. Kick it out nice and long. Beautiful. You're doing great. We are almost there, guys. Keep it moving. For 3, last 2, 1 more each side. You got it. Bring it in and down. Nice job. Let's come all the way down onto our back. And we're going to go ahead and put that weight in between our heels once again. Squeeze the inner or the heels together around that weight. Hands can come underneath the seat here. You're going to extend the legs and draw them back in. Nice job. Find those nice deep breaths. Extend and pull in. Feel that core engage. You got this. Last 4. Pull that spine. Squeeze the ankles nice and tight. 2. Last 1, bring it out and in. Grab that weight nice and carefully. Let's come back into our X's, and then after that, we have 1 more exercise to go. It's going to be a fun one. Let's go ahead, lift that leg, lift that arm. Option to bring the chest and shoulders off of the mat. If you didn't last time, maybe this time you do that. Challenge yourself a little bit more. You got it. Breathe here. Extend and lower. Using that core, pull the navel into the spine. Hug it in nice and tight. Use your exhale to lift the legs. Nice job. We got 1 more each side. Let's do it. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead, drop our weights, and we're going to make our way onto our belly. Now for this next one, we're going to do a weighted plank. You do not have to add weight. It's totally optional. But if you'd like it, you're going to just kind of add it right on that sacrum, that bony part. Kind of make sure that your spine is in between the weight. Okay, so for here, option 1 is to come onto the elbows. Option 2 is the hands. Hands might be a little harder to hold the weight. We're going to tuck the toes under, come onto the knees to start so that you can lift the hips up nice and high, and then straighten the legs. Now we're just going to hold here. Really try to push up into that weight so we protect that low back. Now if your weight is moving all over the place, that means your hips are not in line with your shoulder. We're only here for a little bit longer. Hold it up nice and tight. You got this. Pull that belly away from the floor for 3. Last 2. Can you do it for 1 more second? And then let's lower all the way down and take that weight out. Hands underneath the shoulders. Push the floor away. Take a nice little stretch for that core. You guys did awesome. I will see you next time. Thanks for joining.